Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we learn, grow, and become the best versions of ourselves. Today we're diving deep into something I know most of you are struggling with, remembering what you learn. I know the feeling. You pick up a book, spend hours reading, memorize new vocabulary, or even study for an exam, and then, just like that, the next day, it's gone. You feel frustrated, like all your effort was wasted. Trust me, I've been there. I used to think, why do some people remember everything so easily, while others, like me, forget so quickly? Is it about intelligence? Is there something wrong with my brain? Well, today I'm here to share my personal experience and solutions that completely changed the way I learn and remember. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this happens, but also learn how to fix it. I'll tell you how to become a better learner, how to train your brain, how to focus deeply, and whether taking notes while studying really works. Stick with me, and let's get started on this life-changing journey. First, let's talk about why this happens. Why do we forget what we study? It's simple. Our brain isn't just a storage box. It's a living, working machine that prioritizes things based on how important they seem. If your brain doesn't think the information is important, it won't store it in your long-term memory. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're learning 5 new English words today, like serene, exquisite, abundant, meticulous, and resilient. You might repeat them a few times and feel confident you've got them. But then by tomorrow, you can't recall even one. Why? Because your brain didn't get the message that these words matter to you. It was never told, hey, these are important. Store them for later. Here's the solution. You need to trick your brain into thinking this information is vital. How? Let's dive into that. The power of repetition and spaced practice. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to cram all the information in one go. Your brain works best when it sees information repeatedly over time. This is called spaced repetition. Here's what I do. If I learn something new today, I review it briefly tomorrow, then again after 3 days, then a week later. It's like watering a plant. You don't pour all the water at once. You give it small amounts regularly to help it grow. For example, if you learn the word resilient, write it down today. Tomorrow, write a sentence with it. She was resilient in the face of challenges. After 3 days, recall it without looking. By repeating this process, your brain keeps it alive in your memory. But let me be honest, repetition alone isn't enough. You need to understand what you're learning. Memorizing blindly is like building a house on sand. It won't last. When you truly understand something, you connect it with what you already know, and that makes it stick. Take the word meticulous, which means being very careful and detailed. Don't just memorize the meaning. Think of an example. She was meticulous while painting, ensuring every stroke was perfect. Imagine someone painting with tiny, careful strokes. When you create these images in your mind, the word becomes unforgettable. Fixing your focus. Let's talk about focus. How many of you try to study but find yourself scrolling through social media after just 5 minutes? It happens to all of us because our brain craves distractions. But if you want to remember what you learn, focus is non-negotiable. Here's what I do to fix my focus. I use the Pomodoro technique. It's simple. Study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. During those 25 minutes, turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and give your full attention to what you're studying. Your brain needs this uninterrupted time to absorb information. For example, if I'm studying vocabulary, I spend those 25 minutes not just reading, but also writing, saying the words aloud and imagining their meanings. This deep focus makes all the difference. Is taking notes helpful? Now, let's address a common question. Should you take notes while studying? The answer is yes, but only if you do it right. Writing things down helps your brain process and organize information, but mindless copying doesn't work. Here's my tip. Instead of copying everything, write in your own words. For example, if you're learning about abundant, don't just write, "Abundant means a lot of something." Write, "Abundant describes something in large quantities like an abundant supply of food." Adding your personal touch makes it easier to remember. Active learning versus passive learning. Another mistake we all make is passive learning. Just reading or listening isn't enough. You have to be active in your learning. For instance, if you're learning English, don't just read words. Use them. Speak sentences out loud. Teach the words to someone else, or use them in a real-life conversation. If I learn the word serene today, I make sure to say things like, "I feel serene when I sit by the lake." This active use helps cement the word in my mind. Train your brain with tasks. Here's a secret. Your brain loves challenges. If you want to remember things better, give yourself small tasks. For example, after studying, close your book and write down what you remember, or quiz yourself on vocabulary without looking at your notes. I do this every day. If I'm studying 5 words, I challenge myself to use them in a short story, or write a paragraph using all of them. These small tasks make learning fun and help my brain retain the information longer. Why some people remember easily. You might wonder, why do some people seem to remember everything effortlessly? Here's the truth. They've trained their brain to do so. They use techniques like spaced repetition, active learning, and visualization regularly. You can do it too. It's not about being naturally talented. It's about working smart. Let's talk about something incredible now, the way your brain learns and remembers. Imagine this. Your mind is like a garden. Every new piece of information is a tiny seed. If you throw a seed on the ground and forget about it, will it grow? No. It needs care, water, sunlight, and time. Your brain works exactly the same way. You can plant seeds of knowledge, but unless you nurture them, they won't grow into something strong and lasting. Here's a trick that works wonders. Read, think, write. Let's say you come across the word vibrant. First, read the word and understand its meaning. Then think about it. Close your eyes and picture a vibrant city street with colorful buildings, bright lights, and people walking with energy. Feel the excitement and liveliness in your mind. Now write a sentence like, "The vibrant colors of the sunset filled me with joy." To make it even more effective, use your voice. Say the sentence out loud, as if you're explaining it to someone. Imagine you're a teacher describing the word to a student. When you do this, you involve more senses, and your brain really starts to grasp the word. For example, say, "The vibrant colors of the sunset filled me with joy," and feel the energy in your words. By using read, think, write, and speaking aloud, you'll remember the word vibrant much better. Here's another gem. Break the big into small. Think about a meal. You don't swallow the whole plate of food at once, right? You take small bites, Learning works the same way. If you try to learn 50 words in one day, your brain will reject most of them. Instead, take 5 words and give them your full attention. Use them, write with them, make up stories with them. For example, let's use these 5 words: diligent, vibrant, tranquil, profound, and splendid. Imagine this story. She was diligent in her work, always putting in the effort to achieve her goals. Her vibrant personality brought energy and joy to everyone around her. In the evenings, she sat by the tranquil river, reflecting on life's profound moments. As the sun set, the sky transformed into a splendid canvas of colors, reminding her of the beauty in every day. Did you notice what just happened? You didn't just memorize words, you gave them life. Your brain loves stories because they're like sticky notes that help you remember. Let me tell you about one powerful learning method: visualization. Let's say you're studying something tricky, like grammar rules. Don't just read them. Imagine them. Picture a person named past walking backward, another named present standing still, and future running ahead. When you visualize ideas, they stick in your mind like glue. Another trick is using emotions. The more emotionally charged a memory is, the harder it is to forget. Let's take the word resilient. Think of a time when you overcame something difficult. Maybe you passed an exam you thought you'd fail, or you dealt with a tough situation and came out stronger. Connect the word resilient to that memory. The next time you hear it, your brain will instantly recall your strength. You might wonder, what about boring topics? Here's the truth: nothing is boring if you add curiosity. For example, learning grammar rules might feel dull, but ask yourself, why do we say I am going and not I am go? Treat learning like solving a mystery. Curiosity makes even the driest subject come alive. Now, here's a formula that works like magic for remembering. Teach, test, repeat. After learning something, don't just move on. Teach it to someone, even if it's just yourself in the mirror. Then test yourself. Ask, can I explain this without looking at my notes? Finally, repeat it after a day, then 3 days, then a week. This is how your brain shifts information from short-term to long-term memory. And let's not forget the impact of your surroundings. A cluttered desk leads to a cluttered mind. Keep your study space clean and inspiring. Add a motivational quote, like, "Every great learner was once a beginner." Now let's talk about speed. Can you learn faster? Absolutely. The secret lies in focus. Think of your brain like a camera. If you try to take a picture while moving, the image will blur. But if you focus on one thing, the picture becomes clear. When you're learning, focus fully. Turn off distractions. Set a timer for 25 minutes and dive deep. Here's an example. Suppose you're practicing English pronunciation. Spend 25 minutes saying sentences out loud, recording yourself and listening back. You'll notice improvement faster than if you half-heartedly practice while scrolling through your phone. Lastly, never underestimate the power of belief. If you tell yourself, "I can't remember things," your brain will prove you right. Instead, tell yourself, "I'm an excellent learner. My brain is powerful." Positive self-talk isn't just a feel-good exercise. It rewires your brain for success. Think about this. Every time you learn something new, you're building a treasure chest of knowledge. And every time you remember it, you're unlocking a piece of that treasure. Keep going. Every word, every sentence, every new thing you learn is a step closer to mastery. Let me leave you with this thought. Your mind is limitless. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you're from, or what challenges you face. Every single day is a chance to grow, to learn, and to become better than you were yesterday. Remember, every great speaker, every fluent English user, every successful person once struggled just like you. But they didn't stop. They took small steps, believed in themselves, and kept going, no matter how hard it felt. So today, promise yourself one thing. You will never give up. You might make mistakes, and that's okay. You might feel stuck, and that's okay too. What matters is that you keep moving forward, step by step, day by day. The path to success isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Whether it's learning a new word, speaking a sentence out loud, or reading something in English, every little effort adds up. Trust the process. And when it gets tough, and it will, remind yourself why you started. You're not just learning English. You're opening doors to new opportunities, new friendships, and a brighter future. So go out there, challenge yourself, and take that next step. The journey is yours, and the destination is worth every moment. You can do this. Believe it, feel it, and make it happen.